and have been living in Africa a lot of years. And even before, and our son Luke grew up there also. But before even I met Steve, I was working in Central African Republic in a very isolated area. And there were 2 other missionary families where I was, but the first months there were hard. I loved it there, but they were hard. I found out I stuck my face in a pillow and cried every day, at least once. I think it's because I was away from my normal circle of friends. I couldn't speak the language there yet, and so I didn't quite have that feeling of belonging that you get when you're among your friends and family, and I was missing that. A friend of mine sent a letter to me at that time, brought in by the missionary airplane that came in once a month, and he signed it, the letter, within his grip, and it just reminded me that I did belong, that I was in my Father's grip. It also reminded me of some verses that my grandmother had taught me when I would sleep with her at her house when I was very young. She always taught us verses, and it's from the book of John. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them. They follow me, and I give to them eternal life, and they will never perish. No, my Father who gave them to me is greater than all. No one can pluck them out of his hand. And so, again, just that feeling of belonging and being taken care of. Let me just make sure this is in tune, because I have new strings on this one. Sorry about that. I'm in his grip. What security I find there. My Father holds me in his hand, surrounds me with his care. I'm in his grip, and no one can take me away, for the one who holds me is greater than all. I'm in his grip to stay. What can separate me from the love of God in Jesus Christ his Son? Neither life nor death, nor angels nor powers, things present nor things to come. Neither height nor depth, nor any created thing can move me from God's love. For I'm in his grip, and my life is hidden with Christ in God above. I'm in his grip, for my Father holds my hand. Although I stumble, I won't fall. It's God who helps me stand. I'm in his grip. He works in all things for my best, to mold me into the image of Christ. In his grip I find rest. What can separate me from the love of God in Jesus Christ his Son? Neither life nor death, nor angels nor powers, things present nor things to come. Neither height nor depth, nor any created thing can move me from God's love. For I'm in his grip, and my life is hidden with Christ in God above. We're in his grip. What security we find there. his hand. He surrounds us with his care. We're in his grip, and no one can take us away. For the one who holds us is greater than all. We're in his grip to stay. We're in his grip to stay. There was one thing I just wanted to add. Many years after, well, some years after that song was written, and after my experience in Africa there, I was in Africa married with Steve and a young son, Luke, and we were living in Brazzaville, Congo at that time. Luke was 7 years old, and 7 or 8, and a civil war broke out, and we were evacuated in the middle of that by the French Foreign Legion. Soon before this war broke out, I had been reading the story of Corrie ten Boom from the hiding place to Luke, and I couldn't finish it when the war started. I just couldn't read it. I don't know how many of you know Corrie ten Boom. She was a Dutch lady who, with her family in Holland, harbored a lot of Jews, a number of Jews who were hiding to avoid being sent to concentration camps. In the end, her own family was sent to the concentration camp for harboring the Jews. And her sister died there. She lost most of her family. And she had many struggles herself with God about why things had happened, the way they had. But after that was over, and things were peaceful again, she came back and was standing in front of her house there in Holland, where she had a lot of wonderful memories of her family, most of them not there anymore, and just thinking about her home. And then it occurred to her, this is not my home. God is my home. And a few months after we were evacuated from the Civil War in Cameroon, we were on a plane in the States going to visit someone, and I felt like I could read the story again, emotionally. And so I started reading again, and I came to that part where she says, this is not my home, God is my home. And Luke looked up. Oh, we had seen in the Civil War too, before we were evacuated, almost all the homes around us being looted. And we knew that our house would be looted too as soon as we left. And we didn't know if we were going to be able to go back there or anything. So here we are in the airplane some months later, and I read that part about God is our home. And Luke looks up to me and says, that's the way it is for us too, Mom, isn't it? God is our home. And, that was just an encouragement to me too. And God is our home. And God takes care of our kids too and teaches them. We don't have to worry about them. He knows how to handle them.